today we'll be talking about tax planning with respect to setting up of new businesses. See, since long we have been talking about the deductions that are being available to the individuals, right? So today we'll be more focusing upon what about the new businesses that are, setting up, which are coming up with the startups or which are, sort of setting up new industrial undertakings. So for them, our Income Tax Act 1961 has, dedicated devised some of the deductions which are there under our section 10AA, section 80IA, section 80IB and so on, right. So one by one we will be talking about each and every deduction, starting up with section 10AA. So basically section 10AA is a provision wherein under the Income Tax Act, which allows the taxpayers that they can take the deductions for businesses which are established in special economic zones. Now when we say special economic zones, what are these zones actually? Basically these zones are created to boost the foreign trade in a nation, right. So when we say that we need to boost the exports in a nation, so dedicatedly government in 2006, right, so it has created these specially devised zones wherein the exporters were given the privileges in terms of providing them tax benefits with respect to foreign trade policies and with a view to attract foreign investments in India. So government did what? Government announced various tax concessions that would be provided to all the entrepreneurs who will be setting up a business in these special economic zones. Now when we say that this deduction is available when you set up a business in these special economic zones, by that we mean that it is not like reviving an existing unit, or you are sort of coming up with already established unit and transferring the same or converting the same in special economic zone. Rather it means coming up with something which is very new, a newly set up, a newly created undertaking, a newly created enterprise, right, which you create in these special economic zones. So for that government provides what is, government offers you certain privileges in form of the deductions. So initially the major function of your special economic zones was like you could say just to boost your foreign trade policies, but over the year some provisions have been made, some rules have been made which were made effective over the time period, so that when these deductions they pass on to your special economic zones and they provide certain privileges, so the people are able to benefit much and the people are more attracted towards the scheme and they should thought of opening some new undertakings in these special economic zones, right. So the entire intent is to boost the area development, is to provide a privilege to all the exporters, to all the importers by let us say providing them benefits in terms of your dedicated schemes that more of talk about that okay, you open a unit in these special economic zones will provide you certain privileges in the form of deductions. Now when we say the deductions, so there are being certain pointers that we need to keep into mind which makes this very deduction an eligible one. So if we go for the eligibility criterions for section 10AA deductions, it says that number 1, in order to claim deduction under section 10AA of the Income Tax Act 1961, the sales units are required to satisfy the given conditions. Now what are these given conditions? It says entrepreneurs should be covered within the provisions of section 2 subsection 1 of Special Economic Zones 2005. That means no other entrepreneur can directly come and can claim for these deductions which are there available section 10AA. It says you have to comply by the provisions which are there in your Special Economic Zone Act. Until unless you comply both those provisions, you will be not eligible to seek for the deductions which are there under the Act. So that makes it the first very compulsory condition. Then it says the sales unit should have commenced its manufacturing activity or provision of services during the previous year relevant to assessment year commencing on or after 1st April 2006. Now what does it means? That the core activities which will be conducted in these special economic zones units, it should be related to manufacturing, or you are sort of providing any services with respect to these special economic zones only, and that will be such that you start to begin those activities in the previous year, which is directly connected with the assessment year that begins from 1st April 2006. So, 1st April 2006 means we are talking about the previous year 2005 and 6. So, whatever activities that you have conducted and you have operated such activities in these special economic zone units, then only you will be eligible. If you are not conducting any of the activities in these dedicated special economic units, then you will be not given that benefit, right. Next it says special economic units, they should not be formed by splitting up or reconstruction of the business that is already in existence. Now, when we say splitting up or when we say the reconstruction of the business, it means that, as I said initially, you are not doing what is, you are not transferring one unit to this special economic zones just to avail the benefit of the tax deductions. Rather, you are creating a new enterprise, you are creating a newly established unit altogether in these special economic zones. You are not going for you having one entity, you splitting it up into two entities just to avail this extra privileges of these tax deductions. It says no splitting up, no reconstruction of the business will be allowed. Next it says special economic zone units should not be formed by any transfer of plant or machinery previously used for any purpose to a new business. Now, what does that mean? It says that कि आपने किसी भी previous business से you should not have transferred any of the plant or machinery. Supposingly, you using any plant machinery in your business segmentation A, right? Now, you want to operate a new unit in this special economic zone. You doing what is, you transferring that unit from unit A to this special economic zone, so then that will not be considered. It should not be formed that in a way that you are taking the machinery which have already been used previously for any other purposes. So, you should not transfer the same and then avail about, okay, now I have set up a unit, I have put up some plants and fixtures over here, now I am eligible for the deductions. That ways you will be never eligible for any of the deductions that being allowed under your section 10AA. For that you have to create altogether a new business. Then only it will allow you to avail the benefit of deductions which are there under your section 10AA of the Income Tax Act. Now, when it says that you are eligible to avail these deductions under section 10AA, so it has certain thresholds. Thresholds, it means it is not a flat deductions for all the coming years, it is into the time period basis. So, it says that 100% of the export profits that you earn from the unit is eligible for the deduction for the first 5 years. That means कि पहले 5 सालों के लिए आपका 100% प्रॉफिट जो जनरेट हो रहा है यूनिट से, दैट विल बी एलिजिबल फॉर डिडक्शन. दैट मीन्स वो आपका पूरा एग्जाम्प्ट आउट हो जाएगा, उसके ऊपर आपको टैक्सेस पे ऑफ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. दैट डजंट मीन्स यू डू नॉट फाइल द रिटर्न. You have to file the return, you have to show your books of accounts, and based on your books of accounts, your export profits will be taken into consideration, and that 100% export profits, they will be eligible for the deductions, and that too for the first 5-year tranche, right. Next, for the second tranche it says 50% of export profits is eligible for the deduction for next 5 years. That means पहले 5 सालों के लिए आपका 100% अलाउड था, उससे नेक्स्ट 5 years के लिए it is 50% that is eligible for deduction. You cannot claim of entire 100% for the 10 years or like 50% for the first 10 years. So, it goes in tranches. You avail the first tranche as your 100% for 5 years, then in the second tranche you avail 50%, and then for the next 50 years the amount, the upper ceiling goes like that, it should not exceed 50%. You will be given a benefit, but up to 50% of the export profits. That's the maximum limit. You cannot exceed that limit for the next 5 years. So that is how, based on two different tranches, you are given the deductions under section 10AA, right. Now when we say these deductions are given, there being some one condition, that it says that the conditions for the allowance of the deductions is only possible when you have already debited from your P&L account and credited to this special economic zone reinvestment reserve. Now you do what is, you create your books of account, usme you create your this special economic zone reinvestment reserve, and then by making a debit to your P&L account and then making a equivalent credit to your special economic zone reinvestment reserve account, then only you will be eligible to claim that amount of deduction. अगर आप उसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग डेबिट अपनी P&L से नहीं दिखाकर एक रिजर्व में क्रिएट नहीं कर रहे हैं, then you will be not eligible for any deductions. You have to take it as a mandate that you have to create that reserve account. Then only the deductions will be allowable, and the deductions will be relevant to the very previous year in which you have begin your these special economic zone operations. For example, you establish a unit in 2007. So for that 2007 onwards, those periods, those brackets will be considered, right, and you will be somehow connected with the manufacturing processing, you should be connected with the provision of services, as whatsoever be the case. Then we would say that you abide by all these conditions, then you are eligible, okay, that you can claim for a benefit under your section 10AA, right. So now when we say how to compute these benefits, how to compute that export profits for the units, right, what being the formula for the same, because how would you come to a one rationale which says okay, this being the export profits, right. So you do what is, you take the profit of the business of the unit, you multiply the same by the export turnover of the unit. आपका जितना प्रॉफिट हुआ बिजनेस यूनिट का, you multiply the same by the export turnover, जितना भी export का turnover है आपका, because we consider both export and imports ना. So whatever being your export turnover, divide the same by the total turnover of the business, right. So that is one formula that will help you compute your export profits, right. So then it says, now when we are computing about doing this calculation of your export turnovers, so it will be taking into consideration exports by the undertaking, whatever being received in or brought in into the India, and such turnovers will never ever include any your regular expenses like your freight, your telecommunication charges, your insurance expenses that you incurred with respect to the consumable items or with respect to delivery of the product. So that will never ever be taken into consideration. You will be only taking into consideration the core amount that you have spent it onto the main product or onto the providing those services, right. So that ways you compute your export turnovers, you look into account what being the profit of the unit, you see into account what being your export turnover, and then you divide the whole amount by the total turnover, and this is how your export turnovers or your export profits you are able to compute, because you cannot account for such expenses which are very regular in nature. Example, freight that you pay off, right, with respect to making a product or with respect to any consumable items, right. So that will never ever be taken into consideration. Similarly, any insurance charges, any telecommunication charges, so that will never ever be taken into consideration, right. So that is all when we say about section 10AA, that okay, this privileges will be given, but the condition is that you abide by those conditions, that you are registered, you will set up a new unit, you will be creating a new unit not by splitting up or reconstruction, and you will be not transferring the assets that are already in use, right. Then only you will be eligible, and as per the formula you compute your export profits. It will be given into different tranches the benefit, and in the first tranche you will be given the 100% benefit, in the second tranche you will be given the 50%, and in the third the last bracket, that is for 5 years, you will be given up to 50% of the profits, right. So, what being the rationale of the government for introducing these sections like 10AA? Because government wants to go for the development of a regional area. Government wants to boost or to extend the help to these exporters, so that they can, because of these tax burden, they should not feel deprived of, like they have to pay a major share of their income as taxes, and they are not getting the opportunity to explore or to enhance their trade. So, to provide them boost, to stimulate the growth, the government offers such benefits, and moreover it leads to other development of the particular regional area also, right. Next we will be talking about section 80IA. Now, similar on to these lines, now we will be not talking about just special economic zones, but rather we will be talking about such units wherein industrial undertakings are there, and for those industrial undertaking a tax deduction is being provided. For example, now section 80IA, it says deduction of the Income Tax Act 1961, it provides a tax deduction for certain industrial undertakings which are involved in infrastructural development. Now, when we say infrastructural development, we mean that we are either developing, operating or maintaining. Now, understand, one is to develop a unit, another one that has already been developed, you operate the same, and the next one is you maintain the same. So, there being three different activities, right, and if you being there which is concerned within industrial undertaking which is providing these you could say infrastructural development which is involved into the same, then okay, you are eligible for the same. Now, when it says developing, operating or maintaining, what sort of your infrastructural developments? It talks about you create any infrastructural facilities, you get into creation of any telecommunication services, any industrial parks, you reconstruct a power plant or distribution of natural gases you are concerned with. So, if you are concerned with these activities, these segmentations, then you are eligible under section 80IA to claim the benefit of the deduction, right. Now, similar to what deductions being given for a longer period of time, which we also call it as tax holidays. So, similarly in your section 80IA also, the 100% of the profits and gains which been obtained from the business for a period of 10 consecutive years out of 15 years from the date of its commencement. Now, how do we see this 10 consecutive years and out of the initial 15 years? Let us suppose you begin in enterprise in let us suppose 2005, right. Now, you see 15 years. So, that will be certainly up till your 2020. So, in this period of from 2005 to 2020, you can avail this benefit for 10 consecutive years. It cannot happen, you taking the benefit in 2005-6 and then you think of taking a gap and then you take it again in 9-10. So, that cannot happen. So, if you have started taking the benefits from 2008, so from 2008 to 2018, you have to consecutively for a period of 10 years have to take the benefit in that one go, in that one stretch, right. And the period of 15 years will be considered from the very date of the commencement of the business. So, if the business is commenced in 2006 per se, so you will be considering that period 15 years ka 2006 se plus 15 years, and in those 15 years for 10 consecutive years you will be given the privilege of claiming the deduction which is 100% of your profit and gains, right. Now, there are various other benefits that are given apart from your section 10AA or 80IA. There is this section 80IAB. Now, 10AA was just for the new unit which is there, you establish a unit in a special economic zone, whereas your 80IAB, it is with respect to profit and gains from enterprises which are engaged in the development of special economic zones. Now, you are not talking about you creating a unit in special economic zones, rather you are talking about that you lead to the development of special economic zones, right? आप एक developer है, आपका purpose क्या है? You are developing a special economic zone that has been notified by the government, right, on or after 2005 and before year 2017, right. So, that being the very period key for which you can claim of different benefits. So, if you being a developer who has been engaged in the business of developing a special economic zones, then you will be given these privileges, and the benefit that you will be able to avail is your 100% of profits, and again for 10 consecutive assessment years. You cannot go in isolation and can avail of the benefits, rather you have to go for consecutive years. That means one on one, जैसे कि आपका ATIA में हुआ, that you avail the benefits for a stretch of 10 years, right. Otherwise you will be not offered much of these privileges, if because if you go for those gaps in between, तो आपका जो है पिछला भी आपको revert करना पड़ेगा government को, because you are flouting with the provisions of the government rules that are being defined under this Income Tax Act 1961. So, these what being the major difference in your section 10AA and ATIB is that in section 10AA you are talking about setting up a new unit in a special economic zone, rather in section ATIB you are talking about developing the special economic zones. So, you are more of in a role of developing the entire zone, right, rather than you coming up with a unit. So, these privileges will do what? It will enhance the spirit of the individuals to take more of the projects in these special economic zones, or per se to engage more into these development of your industrial parks, as it happens in your previous section, which is section ATIA. So, these benefits are more of beneficial to incentivize all the new businesses, undertakings that are going to establish in these specific zones, or that are going to be engaged in the development of your infrastructural projects, right. Now, other conditions that we have read earlier also, that splitting up or reconstruction of the units or transferring of the assets that being already being used in other unit. So, the conditions remain the same, that you can still not split the unit, you cannot go for the reconstruction, nor you can utilize the amount of your or the major assets that have already been engaged in your you could say previous unit, right. You cannot engage the same again into a new unit. So, the very rules or the very modus operandi, it remains the same whether we talk about section 10AA, ATIA or ATIB, right. So, that will be more of enlightening you about how you can go for new units when talking about developing you could say special economic zone. Now, apart from that, we have section ATIB, which talks about the profits and gains which you are generating apart from these infrastructural development undertakings. So, whatever profits and gains that you are generating apart from your major infrastructural development undertaking projects, so you gain any profits and gains out of the same, then also you are eligible to claim the benefit, right. Now, there are certain again conditions for the same, which says that where the gross total income of any SSC should include any profits and gains that being derived from the businesses that been classified under this section. That means ये section कहता है कि other businesses हों आपके apart from infrastructural development, and उसको आप जो है considered करेंगे when you will be computing your gross total income. Now, in accordance with these provisions of this section, you will be doing what? You will be computing the total income of the SSC, and then you will be providing a deduction which will be equivalent to such in percentage for that particular period of years as being defined into this section, right. Again, here the section is not limited to what we say in ATIA or ITIAB, it also is an extension of these sections wherein it talks about the projects which are there apart from your infrastructural development undertakings. The other your sort of conditions, it remains the same, that it is not formed by splitting up or reconstruction of a business which is there in existence, right. And the second condition being that you are not transferring the assets which are already in use. We will be talking more about section 80IB in the coming segment. So, we will be continuing from this segment in the next section.